Hey guys, um, due to camera difficulties and everything else, we're gonna start doing these um, live videos. We're gonna do them live, I guess. I'm doing a come along with me, follow along, see how I do it, what I do. I'm going through like for sure the first month, maybe even the second month of how I go about training young horses. This is a 3-year-old filly we call Money. This is her second week. This is day 3, ride number 3 this week. Yesterday I tried doing a video and ended up videoing the side of my arena for half an hour. So today I got my daughter Kylie. She's gonna run the camera for me so that I can quit having cameraman failures, because that seems to be one of the funny things we laugh at all the time every time we're doing these videos. But yeah, I'm just gonna go through, I guess, what I do every day when I go out and ride these young horses, how I bring them along. And yeah, so I mean, I already have my saddle on her, but I did that clear back over at the trailer while I was waiting for Kylie to come out to video me. But when I put my saddle on, like I said in my other video, I barely put it on. Like, it's barely tight. I'm gonna come over here when I get ready to ride, after she's walked around or sat for a while, whatever. I'm gonna cinch her up tight, and when I do that, I'm not just gonna like grab it and pull it as tight as I can, right off the hop. Otherwise you get them moving around too much. And the other thing, I always snug up my back cinch, just because I don't want to train this horse with her back cinch loose all the time and then hand her off to somebody else and have them snug it up and she takes off bucking or does something because that's something new to her. I like to get all the uncomfortable stuff out of the way right from the start. I snug up my back cinch from the very beginning. If they want to buck it out, I let them buck it out. But you know, we've been working on a lot more, like being responsive, getting soft when we're lunging her around, trying to get her to stop a little better when we're on the ground. And yesterday I introduced, for the first time, I started backing her up while I was on her back. Now I did, like I do back them up on the ground a bit, like that. And you notice right there, I cluck to her too. Something to understand, clucking isn't just go forward. When I cluck up my horse, it doesn't mean just go forward, it means move your feet. If I'm asking her to back up and I cluck to her, that means move your feet, and that means moving backwards. So right there, when I picked up on her, and I'm gonna do it as light as I can, like I barely have any pressure. I'm gonna slowly go back, and if she doesn't move, good girl. Now yesterday we worked on just getting one step, and she got it really well. Like I said, video's gone, ruined. But today we're gonna ask her for a little bit more when we're doing that. And same with being soft side to side. She was wanting to lean on the halter steel, and she knows how to get soft, but she was just kind of being a little bit stubborn. So we've been a little more firm about that and asking her to be a little more responsive. Yesterday we worked on that pretty good, and she got a lot better. And today we're going to work on that again. I'm going to work on this because it's a point of emphasis. I'm going to work on this before I even lunge her around. This kind of hooks them to me, gets their mind on what we're going to do today. We're working on being soft. I don't really like when she roots her nose out like that after, so we'll just work on that a little bit better. Get her to not be so rooty out. That's good. And then after that, we'll probably do that again both ways. So right there, she wants to just hang on. So I'm going to be a little more firm. I'm going to say, hey, pay attention, good girl. I'm not going to give her as much opportunity to lean on it, I'm gonna bump on it, I guess, when I grab a hold of it. I'm gonna ask her really soft. Like, I'm gonna start, my first is not little to no, like half a pound of pressure. Nice looking shoe. But then when she leans on it, I'm gonna ask her, and then I'm gonna bump on it if she wants to lean on it still, because I'm saying, hey, it's time to pay attention and smarten up. That was a lot better. I really like that. So now I'm gonna lunge her around. That's way better. Good job. I like that way better when I ask her to walk off and she doesn't just leave, like, and just start running off. Nice slack in the rope like that. She's paying attention. She's kind of looking to me there to see what I want. And then as she's going around, I'm just gonna, oh, that was a lot more responsive than it was day one this week. Yesterday, it's better than it was yesterday. But I'm gonna come over here and just back her up after. I don't want her to, I saw a guy on TikTok actually, and he has some really nice horses that slide in the round pen. And so I asked him what he does, and he said when he's round penning them, instead of getting them to stop and turn and face him, he just gets them to stop along the round pen, and then he goes over and backs them up. And I said, that's pretty neat. I'm gonna try that. So this is me trying that. This is the first horse I've started with that. Maybe we'll have a big old butt dragger, but who knows? That's really good. Oh, she kind of missed it there, but then she caught it. I'm not gonna get mad at her. She caught herself. I'm just gonna back her up. Maybe I'll back her up a couple more steps that way. But then when I go to lunge her off again, I'm actually gonna lunge her off this way. Oh, easy. Good girl. Feeling a little frisky there. That's fine. Oh, way better. Good girl. Now we're gonna and she's not acting frisky, and I've been riding her. Feel fairly confident she's good. I'm gonna test it out. This is me. Each time I'm gonna try to do less on the ground. Not every day, but as often as I feel like we can, I'm gonna try to do less on the ground and just get on her. I don't want to have to lunge her out for. You see some people, they have to lunge their horse out for 20 minutes before they get on it every time. Eventually I want to be able to just cinch up my saddle, bend her around, and get on. And I mean, she actually is fairly good. That's way better. I should have turned her towards the camera there, but on day one, when I first got on, we spent probably 15 or 20 minutes, or not day one this week. We spent probably 15 minutes of just trying to get on, sit here, get soft like this. And she was getting soft, but she kept walking off. And the goal is, when I get on, I just want her to stand here. I want her to stand here and get soft. Because that's the key. That's what we're working on. Good girl. I like that. And then, same as all the other times, I'm just gonna walk her around in a circle. I'm gonna put my leg on. I'm gonna start doing that more, where I'm walking around in a circle and I just put my leg on and see if she'll respect it or listen to it and move off of my leg. That's something we're working on this week. A new thing I introduced yesterday was trying to put my leg on her right there. And then when I come over here, I'm gonna switch legs. There, nice. I like that. Good girl. And yeah, it's dark. Kylie had basketball today, and we got out here late. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. We still got to ride these things. Sometimes it's in the dark. But same thing on this side. I'm gonna just see how, and she's really feely. Like I barely am putting my calf on her there, and she's moving away from my leg. This horse I think she's gonna be really feely, just like her mother was. Her mother, you could barely even touch with her legs and you might fall off. Right here, I'm gonna put my right leg on, move her over. Nice. I like that. And then same thing when I'm going around, I'm gonna just sit down. Oh, and then, like I said yesterday, we worked on backing up for the first time with me on her back. I'm just gonna hold pressure. Right there. When they get stuck like that, if you hang on that and you try to ask them for 2 or 3 or 4 steps right there, they're just going to fight you more. But if you just give that, like she didn't even really take a whole step. She just moved back and I released right there. She's nice lick and chew. Now we're going to try that again. We're going to sit down. There, wave it. Good girl. Man, she's smart. Then we're gonna work on that stop at a trot. I'm gonna trot her around a couple circles here. Same thing, working on using my leg, keep my circle nice. And it's not so much about the shape of the circle, it's about the shape of the horse, the way she's moving. Especially at this stage. Like I said, I just really started asking her to move off my leg yesterday. And she already wants to stop. I'll just push her through there. Oh. Okay. So right there, she kind of walked off through it, so we'll just back her up. There, and then get soft. So when a horse licks and chews like that, that's usually, most people will tell you that's a sign that they kind of understood what you asked of them right there. Now we're going to trot off the other way. Leg on her there, she kind of leaned into my circle. That time she stopped. That's funny, I was thinking about stopping right there. And she stopped. So, but when they start to anticipate like that, you kind of got to push them past it just so that they're staying in tune with you, not always just doing what they want. Now she keeps stopping right there every time, slowing down, so I'm not going to stop her right there anymore. I'm going to stop her right here. And then same thing, back her up. The stop isn't complete until they back up, and then get her soft. And believe it or not, this is about 90% of what it looks like when you're riding these young horses like this. There's a lot of just slow, tedious, like working on, I mean, it's all the stuff no one wants to do, I guess. It's stuff that I like to do with these, bring them along, see if they get better. She's for sure better than she was on Monday. She's 100% times better than she was, I mean, Monday last week. That's when I started her. And how far she's come in a week and a couple days is, she's far exceeded my expectations of. And you have to be careful when they do that, because you'll start to, because they're doing good, you'll start to ask them for more too early, and you'll kind of frazzle them. You'll get them to where their brain gets racing and they not really just understand the basics. That's what we got to do right here, is really teach them the basics. Oh. Now yesterday in the video that was messed up, I talked about how I go about stopping one. And see, when I go to stop a horse, my first cue to stop, hey, right there, we're just gonna soften her up, is I don't, like, my first cue isn't to grab them and pull them. My first cue, like when I'm going around, I'm gonna be driving with my legs, drive, and then I'm gonna sit down, say whoa, and then engage my hands if I have to. All right, there, I can't let her, just because I was talking about that, I can't let her just hang on that. Or even root her nose out there. Stuff you have to pay attention to. And that's part of why we work so much on, like, just bending and softening them right here. That's how you get them soft and moving around. I'm gonna kind of do some figure eights here. Switching my legs, nice. So lean on my leg right there. There. I love how she's just traveling in a nice kind of banana-like shape right there around my leg. Oh. Now also, because it's so cold out late, like this week, we're trying to accomplish things, get better at things without getting her all sweaty. And I mean, if I had to, like if we got into a fight, then I would work through her, get her all sweaty and put a sweat blanket on her and spend an extra hour drying her off before I put her away tonight. But Like right there, everything I taught her worked on yesterday. She did better than she did yesterday. She's softer in the face. She's stopping better than she did yesterday. I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to, like, that. That's typically what a ride might look like, honestly. Like, it, some days you have to go and have lots of hard work, and some days when they're good, if you can teach them to look for the release and figure it out, and then you don't keep picking on that and harping on it, making them bored and mad, then you can actually get a lot accomplished without riding them for hours and hours and hours at a time and getting them dull, and you kind of turn their brain off. Now right there, 2, good girl. You'll notice when I go to get off, I try to deliberately actually drag my leg over her butt, because I don't want someone, if I ever sell her, I don't want somebody to go to get on her, or when they go to get off, run their leg over her butt and spook her and away she goes. But at the end of every ride, as soon as I'm done, as soon as I get off, as quick as I can, I uncinch my horse. To me, that makes me feel, or in my mind, that's me telling the horse they did a good job. That's their release. That's their big release at the end of the ride, saying, hey, I'm really happy with how you did. Let's work on getting a little bit better tomorrow. If anybody's watching, thanks for watching. And yeah, see you tomorrow. You can just hit end on that, Kai. Huh?